What's good? What's good? What's good, baby? It's your boy Truex, the sports junkie. Welcome to the NBS Show. I do have to give a shout out before we even get started. I have two shout outs. Shout out to my brother Rob, man. That's my dog at work. And he always says, X, when I watch y'all show, you always say what's good multiple times. Why? Shout out to you, Rob. I appreciate you for tuning in. But I got another shout out. Somebody's
Bro, you must be saying something you ain't supposed to say.
Yeah, because we are not hearing you, bro.
I actually said happy birthday, C.
Oh yeah, man, you supposed to say that. What's the deal, man? Appreciate you, bro.
What up, though, man?
Wow, Mr. C, the trendsetter, aka the birthday boy, aka what's the birthday man, birthday old man down there. I'm celebrating my damn near 50th birthday, 47. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited about today, man. Ain't nothing better than smacking people around like I'm still 19, bro. So y'all gonna have to get that 19-year-old smacking like young C. You know what I'm talking about? Let's get it.
Of course, we got the guy that ducked us last week. He's gonna say that he has a bunch of excuses why. We know why, because he had the Patriots and he didn't want to say it on air. But what's up, box office?
Man, I was in California, man. And let me tell y'all something. I was in the Bay Area, 70 degrees in shorts. I come back to Virginia, immediately get sick and it's damn cold. And I've been fighting these allergies ever since, bro. But yeah, y'all got lucky last week. Y'all ducked me, but y'all had a off week. Now now I'm back. I'm putting y'all back to work tonight.
Man, I got something to say though, man, real quick before we get started, because y'all are normally the ones that do it. So me and my brother-in-law, yeah, he's like y'all. He bets all the time on these games. So, bruh, I'm like, well, I'll put a bet in. I'll put a bro. I hate on everything except for who was gonna score the first touchdown, bruh. I had Cooper Cup, and if I would have got it all right, I would have got 5,000. I would have flipped $10 into 5,000, bruh.
Bro.
Wow.
JSN under like 50 yards, and my brother-in-law was like, "You're an idiot." I'm like, "Okay, you go see, bro." Christian Gonzalez is one of them ones, bro. And he was like, "You wildin' with that X."
Yeah.
Wow. But see how you get caught up in it?
Yeah,
Like
bro. I was sitting there like, I don't care who really wins, even though I picked the Seahawks. I'm like, I want my parlay to in, bro.
Oh yeah. Hey, look, I put in 3 parlays. One was a touchdown parlay. I put down, it was crazy. I just put down $5 and I put down everybody who probably could score a touchdown in it. Like it was gonna be a shootout. I had JSN, Walker. I had
Ramondre Stevenson probably.
Ramondre Stevenson. I had Henderson too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just like I'm putting them all down. And if they all score, if this is a shootout and they all score, I'll get rich. So I did that. And the other one was I took the underdog bet and I said just in case the Patriots come out there and they look up and win, I took them with the points. I took the over was like 42. I took the over and I took the Patriots for the money line. Neither one of those hit, but I did have one that hit. It was 2 catches by Walker, 2 catches by Henderson. I forget, but I was terrified that Henderson wasn't gonna get his and Walker wasn't gonna get his because they weren't throwing it to him. I was like, Walker's going out, but they're not throwing him the damn ball. I need him to
He
catch
was
at
dropping
least
the
2.
ball too. That
Huh?
boy was dropping the
Yeah, he
ball.
dropped the ball a couple times. I'm like, bruh, just catch one more though. He caught one early, and then I was sitting there waiting for him to catch the second one. And we he ended. It was Sam Darnold, 28 passing attempts. Trayvon Henderson, 2 receptions. Kenneth Walker, 2 receptions, and Drake made 30 passing attempts. And Drake May was scaring me all the way into the fourth quarter too. You know what I mean? Because I was like, bro, they losing and they still not passing. Like I was cursing every time he took off running.
That was one of the things I had. I had Drake May like for over 200, I think like 50 yards. And I'm like, my brother-in-law like looking at me like, bro, Drake May got like 48 yards, bro. He's not getting it. I'm like, bro, in the fourth quarter, they're going to have to throw the ball.
And then he went over.
Right.
Yeah. I put in 1,000 tickets yesterday. Nothing hit. Man, I knew it wasn't gonna hit because by halftime you knew it was a defensive game.
Right.
So, and as soon as you see it's a defensive game, you're not gonna hit because it's just you need too much to go your way.
Right.
So I've had a good betting playoffs, but last night $200 just in the trash because it was too defensive.
See, and usually what I do is at halftime I put in another bet on the Super Bowl,
right?
And that one usually is the one who hits because I can see the game, but I just last night it was so crazy. I was like, I'm not even doing that today. I'm just gonna ride this one out and see if it hits, and it ended up hitting, so I was good.
That's dope. Well, with that being said, let's break it all down. Box office. I'm gonna let you kick it off where you want to start at, and then we'll go from there.
All right. Well, let's get to the Super Bowl. Antonio had the Seahawks. Y'all had the Seahawks. Jasper and I had the Patriots. So officially, Antonio wins the picks.
Right.
Shout out to him there. And it's crazy that him and Jasper came down literally to the Super Bowl to determine it. Let's just start off simply. Were you surprised? I know you guys had the Seahawks, but were you surprised at how the game went?
You want me to go first, or you got it? See,
you go ahead.
Not at all. I thought pretty much exactly how it was gonna go is what happened. I thought that the Seahawks would get off to an early lead, and then late in the game, the Patriots would make it look a lot closer than what it actually was. And that's what I saw. I mean, I don't know. I think you guys would agree. I do want to say this, man. I know I saw it going in because I actually put a video out there about Christian Gonzalez, but he saved them. That would have been a blowout if Christian Gonzalez was on that field. Bruh, yeah. I'm sitting there like, this dude is breaking up passes, bruh. Cooper Kupp would have scored. Shaheed would have scored. JSN would have scored. If it wasn't for Christian Gonzalez. He was all over the field. He definitely, in a losing effort, I feel like he stamped himself as definitely, even though, we know because we watch it, but I think he turned himself not into a household name because still there's casuals that won't know who he is, but you look at it on the field and you're like, that number 0 there, he the real deal. So shout out to him, man. He was definitely one of the bright spots for the Patriots last night. Outside of that, man, I thought New England, bro. The only thing I would say I was surprised with when it comes to New England, I felt like their game plan was hard. I don't know what that was. I felt like they should have ran the ball more. I felt like they tried to put too much on Drake May early on in that game. And I thought they should have threw a lot more screens to start the game because out the gate, and I think, last week, I think me and you had Seattle's defense as a clear sweep from every position as far as the defense. And I just felt like they didn't help him out. The game plan was bad. And I'll say it. I know box office was trolling. But Will Campbell, shout out to him, man. I love LSU. He wasn't helping Drake May at all out there. He wasn't. I mean, they were doing what they wanted, the defensive line. The secondary, they were blitzing, and they were getting to Drake May. It was the score looks a lot closer than what it was. It was actually, to me, a clear Super Bowl. Seattle was clearly the better team.
Yeah. I forgot what my exact prediction was, but I think it was close to the ending score. I know I had them winning by like at least 14 or something like that. And X looked at me like, whoa. I'm like, yeah, it's going to be bad, bro. I didn't think it was going to be close. I did expect it to be a better game than this, but I was actually talking to one of my assistant principals today. We were on duty, and I said, "You catch the game last night?" He was like, "Yeah, I watched it. I stopped watching it in the third quarter though." I'm like, I said, "Oh, it wasn't exciting enough for you?" He said, "Man, actually, I liked it." He said, he had a great way to put it. He said everybody was doing what they were supposed to do. That's why the score was low. He said the defenses were playing their assignments correctly. That's why it wasn't a whole bunch of big scores. And the offense was running their plays, but the defense was matching up with them perfectly. So everybody did what they were supposed to do. Therefore, it wasn't a whole bunch of blowout big scores on the game. He said, but I just, he said neither one of them was my team, so I wasn't gonna keep on watching. I was like, yeah, that's a great way to look at it, because if it wasn't no big lapses in defense, no big huge plays, no, I guess, total domination. It did look like the Seahawks dominated them, because it was just, you could see the youth on New England side. What I knew Will Campbell was a rookie, but I did not know their guard was a rookie on the same side either. And that explained why they gave up so many sacks this year. And we was talking about parlays. I was looking for the sacks prop, because I was gonna put them down for at least 3 sacks. And I was gonna put like $100 on that, because I knew it was gonna be bad. I didn't know it was gonna be that bad, but I wasn't surprised. But I actually will say I watched that whole game for my parlay. It wasn't a great Super Bowl. It was predictable to me, and Drake May really stunk it up. And I'm not gonna just blame his offensive line on it too. He was holding the ball a lot longer than he should have. He started getting out and running in the second half, but hell, if he'd have done that a little bit in the first half, maybe they wouldn't been in the position that they were in, But Drake May, second year, he wasn't even supposed to be here. That's how I looked at. I looked at the Patriots last night. I said, they're not even supposed to be here, bro. I could see. If nobody picked neither one of these teams to be in the Super Bowl, but if you would have told me one of them was going to be in the Super Bowl and they told me to pick which one, I would have said Seattle. I wouldn't have never said New England. So, New England, they should learn from this. But it was a cool Super Bowl, man. Wasn't exciting. Not a whole bunch of fireworks in the game.
Okay, I was a little surprised. Obviously, I've watched both these teams all season long. I understand that Seattle was hot going into these to the Super Bowl. I think they won 9 straight going into it. And I realized the Patriots barely got by these playoffs. And I know that Drake May didn't play his best. But one thing I said a couple weeks ago was I give Mike Vrabel, or no, y'all went through it last week, and I was following the show. I listened to the show, and I was thinking, I was like, man, I give Mike Vrabel the advantage over Mike McDonald. No disrespect to Mike McDonald, but to me, what I was surprised at is I felt like Mike Vrabel underachieved big time last night. You had 2 weeks to prepare. Like, I kept sitting there watching this game. I kept saying, usually in these type of big games, one team is gonna pull out some trick play. They're gonna do something to give their offense a spark. And New England needed that spark the way they've been playing in these playoffs. And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, Vrabel, run a trick play, run a gadget play, do something to get Seattle on their heels. He didn't do anything. Like it was just basic play calling. I understand Josh McDaniels calls the plays, but still, like I just thought it was way too conservative. They gave up on the run way too quickly. I thought they should have ran Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson way more. It's only 9-0 at half. That's nothing. You know, you even get a field goal to start the second half. That's a completely different score.
Right.
So I didn't like the offensive game plan. I actually feel terrible for New England's defense.
Like they played
They
good.
they gave up one touchdown all night.
Right.
You know what else could you do as a defense? They gave up one touchdown all night. Like I feel bad for Gonzalez, Milton Williams, Spillane, and the rest of the crew. Like they played well. The offense did not show up. Will Campbell, we're gonna send you back to Monroe, Louisiana.
Wow.
I hear Amazon is hiring over there.
Wow.
But no, I mean, look, I'm not trying to be too hard on Will Campbell. He's a rookie. But at the end of the day, I also don't like how they didn't make adjustments for Will Campbell until the fourth quarter. You know, they finally put out Hunter Henry over there to chip block for him.
Yeah.
Like, finally. I'm like, bro, you should have done that after the first quarter. I just didn't understand Mike Vrabel, McDaniels, and the offensive game plan. And the worst part is the defense kept you in it all night. You made changes way too late. In the fourth quarter, they didn't run the ball at all, which I understand. You're down, you have to throw. But, you know, if you make these adjustments earlier, it doesn't come down to you throwing every play in the fourth quarter. So I wasn't surprised at everything going into the game. Seattle being a favorite and all that. I was surprised that New England didn't do anything special on offense after 2 weeks to prepare. I mean, you got to do something there to catch Seattle off guard, to give Seattle something they haven't seen all year. I just expected way more out of that New England offense, and it is what it is. Seattle deserves the chip. They were clearly better last night. And like I said, I just feel bad for New England's defense a little.
And Seattle was the best team in the playoffs. Like they were the best team. Like we have to be. I mean, I'm not a Seattle Seahawks fan. They were the best team in the playoffs, bro. They destroyed the Niners after the Niners beat the Eagles. They beat a Rams team I thought the Rams was going to the Super Bowl before the season started. Y'all both thought they were going to win the Super Bowl midway through because y'all thought they were the best team. I mean, Seattle has been very impressive, bro. Like you said, towards the back end of the year and then in the playoffs, they've just been lights out.
Yep. Okay. Well, go ahead, C.
One thing, like you said about Vrabel, I think that Vrabel, I don't want to say exposed himself last night, but I have a theory about coaches. You have to be great at one thing to be a head coach to me. Now, if you're great at one thing and you surround yourself with people that are better than you at these other things, you're fine. You're fine. But here's where it comes into play. Like last night, I think Vrabel, I don't view Vrabel as a good X's and O's guy. You understand what I'm saying? I think he's a good motivator.
Yeah.
And they said something on the coming out of the half. They said that Vrabel told them they got to do something. Y'all got to go out there and do something. I said, I know that man didn't tell them people that, bro. But I think that's maybe what he told them. And I think that maybe he was delegating too much. He was delegating too much to Josh McDaniels and like, hey, you the offense dude. Hey, you the offensive guy, man. Y'all got to do something, bro. We got to do something to turn this around. I can go in here and rah-rah, but you got to do something to get us around, turn this around. And I think Josh McDaniels just kind of let him down. But he shouldn't have I don't think he should have given that much of his team over to Josh McDaniels. I really do believe that he had no idea. I don't think he knows the playbook. I I think he goes out there, he let Josh handle that and say, hey, we got to play to do this. Let's do that. Let's do that right there. Like if he just think of something, we got to play in. Like we have like a speed option, huh? Let's run that. I don't think he knows the offense like that. But I look at it and I said that's probably where his demise. He met his demise last night, not knowing enough of what's going on with his team and delegating too much.
Yeah, I mean it's possible. He is a defensive guy. And, he probably does rely on McDaniels offensively. But I'm not trying to be too harsh on him just because they did, at the end of the day, they did overachieve. First year in New England, they go to a Super Bowl. He's got a young quarterback. There's a high possibility Vrabel's back in here in this situation in 5 years, if not earlier. So, but I just thought 2 weeks to prepare. You're playing a very tough defense. Pull a huge flea flicker out. Do something. Like give your offense a spark at least on one possession.
I do that in the first quarter. I flea flicker first quarter Super Bowl.
I just think I thought they should have built like the running game, the screen game. Build on it, and then you could take a shot to get the defense. Look, okay, they may take a shot at us deep, but I just feel like the box office said they gave up on the running game too early. I mean,
but it wasn't working though.
As a team, they ran for 4 yards a carry. They gave him Roger Stevenson, I think, the ball like 7 times the whole game. Travion Henderson got touched the ball like 6 times. Like you didn't run the ball. You didn't really try to run the football, in my opinion. And Drake May, he took off a couple of times, like you said, in the second half. He took off on one of the early drives in the game.
And I think that's where the 4 yards of carry came from, because I never saw them. I never saw Ramondre Stevenson.
But they didn't run enough. That's my thing. Like run the football. Like on one of the downs, my brother-in-law was actually, he brought it up. It was like 3rd and 1, and they threw the ball. I'm like, dude, run the football. Like you all have to. Your offensive line is not, and they didn't do it like right there. Threw it down the field. Like you have to, and the blitzers come in and throw a speed behind it. Do something. You just can't just keep letting them have a free rush and Drake May, bro.
Yeah, I didn't like that they didn't go for it on 4th down at all until the 4th quarter. Like be a little more aggressive. I just felt like they were so okay with 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. I'm like, bro, like, come on. I mean, there was a couple 4th and 1s. Go for it. Like, I'd rather fail that way and lose than just keep punting it. Keep punting it. I mean, I feel bad for defense.
Yeah,
man, well. My son, my 13-year-old son, he came in. He was watching the Super Bowl for a little while, but he's 13, so his attention span. He went in there and got on the game with his friends. He would come in periodically, and he was going for the Patriots. I don't know why. He was like kept talking about Stephon Diggs. I was like, what? Like I don't know where he gets it from. But anyway, he kept coming. He's like, man, they punting again. Like every time he would come in, New England would be punting the ball. And I was like, hey, they can't move the ball, son. They can't move the ball. He'd come back in, he'd be like, they got the ball again, talking about Seattle. I was like, they can't move the ball, son. They got to keep punting it. You know what I mean? So it was so annoying to watch if you were a Patriots fan. I know you were pulling your hair out like, bro, you need to go for it on something. 4th and 1, let's go for it. You know what I mean? But it just seemed like they he played it way too safe the entire game. He didn't Sean Payton this thing at all. He didn't want to take any chances at all this game. I think he didn't want to be wrong. He was afraid to be wrong.
Another guy I want to shout out to is Craig Woodson. I thought he tackled very well for New England, bro.
I agree.
Like there was some times I'm like, Boy, Seattle about to score again. And he'd make the tackle, bro. So shout out to him. Like Box Office said, New England's defense, bro, you feel bad for them because they really showed up. They did show up last night. You tell me JSN is under 30 yards receiving, bro. I'm sitting there like, bro, Sam Darnold's barely over 200. Like you're thinking to yourself, okay, we have a chance at this. And it didn't seem that way in that game, in my opinion. And they actually played well as far as Shaheed returning punts.
Yeah. I mean, bro, y'all are actually convincing me that New England's defense played well because I didn't see it that way watching the game.
I just simply saw it as they allowed one touchdown, bro. Seattle.
I mean, the results, you can't argue with the results. You're right. Yeah. But I think that Seattle was moving the ball as much as they wanted to, but they would get down there and they would
settle for field goals.
Yeah. They couldn't punch the bread.
They kicked 5 of them, but I'm okay if my defense plays that way. Like,
bend but don't break.
That's right.
Yeah, bend
but don't get a walking touchdown back too.
Yeah,
that was a good call though.
It was.
But I'm okay with bend but don't break. Like I'm okay with that. If I'm holding a Seattle offense to 5 field goals, hey, bro, what else could I do as a defense? And I also kind of look at it like Seattle shouldn't be out there that long. Why is Seattle out there that long? It's simply because we're punting 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. I'm just like, I feel bad for defenses sometimes. Like Houston, bro.
Oh, I feel terrible for them right now.
If CJ Stroud did what Sam Darnold did, which is just don't turn it over.
Right.
That's it. Just don't turn it over. We would last night have Houston, Seattle.
But that's if I'm Houston, I'm going to this offseason like, look, CJ Stroud, bro, we're not wasting this year. Like, you can't turn over the ball like you did this past year.
This your last rip.
It is though, because they have to make a decision on them.
Right. I'm happy for Sam Darnold. I do want to say that. I'm really happy for Sam Darnold because, people gave up on him, bro. Like, let's just be real. Like, and that was my hesitation picking Seattle to get win. Well, because bro, there's no way I'm picking Seattle to get to the Super Bowl with Sam Darnold at quarterback, even though I do think that they'll be really good this year. And Sam Darnold, man, in the postseason looked a lot better.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you like this. Sam Darnold, when I saw Seattle got Sam Darnold, I was like, nah, they got Sam Darnold. I understand what he did in Minnesota last year, but come on, man, that's not moving the needle. That's not.
But you didn't think he could duplicate it with that defense? Because that's the way I was looking at it. I was looking at it from the standpoint, okay, Seattle got Sam Darnold. Their defense is nasty already, and then you look at it, you say, okay, maybe JSN is not Justin Jefferson going into the season. I'm saying, but he is not far off going into the season. And then you add a guy like Cooper Kupp, and you like, hold up. This team is actually pretty good. I like Kenneth Walker coming out of Michigan State. So that's why I drafted him in the NBS league. The fool didn't do nothing for me all season, but balled out in the postseason. But I was looking at their team, and I'm saying, but they're very similar to Minnesota, bro. They're very similar to Minnesota.
Now, I was like, see, bro. I kind of like rolled my eyes when I saw Sam Darnold go to Seattle. I guess I guess I just had to see it more than once. And he did a great job in Minnesota, but I thought everybody could have one good year. And shout out to Sam Darnold. He made history. He's the first ever quarterback to win a Super Bowl after playing for at least 5 teams.
That's crazy, bro.
And he went through 5 teams so quick. He's only 28.
He's about to get a massive contract, bro.
So, like, if you win me a Super Bowl, bro, he should be their quarterback at least for the next 5 years.
Oh, yeah.
At least. So, shout out to Sam Darnold. I mean, this is when you fail early on, this is what you hope to end up. So he deserves credit. And it's crazy that draft class: Sam Darnold, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, Josh Rosen. He's the first one to win.
But to put in perspective, he was the third pick in that draft too. He was drafted ahead of some people. So let's put in perspective that his ceiling coming out of college, people thought he was going to be really, really good.
Yeah.
Man, where's Josh Rosen working at now, man?
Oh, man, chill out, bro.
Is it Walmart? Is it Target?
Wow.
Luckily for him, he grew up wealthy, so I think he's fine regardless.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully got his degree, because you can only live on mom and daddy money for so long before they have to put you in a position in the company. So it's like, I don't know, man, but I'm happy for Sam Darnold because he was a punchline. He was for sure a punchline. And who's the guy that the Jets drafted after him?
Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson, he's the new punchline. You know what I mean? Because Sam Darnold, he was a punchline for sure. And I don't even know why. I mean, I know why, but I don't know why. It's like he
was a turnover machine.
Yeah, and I see he was out there seeing ghost thing. That's like he made himself a punchline by things like that. But I think one thing about him, the older he's gotten, he started understanding media as well. So he doesn't say dumb shit like he's out there seeing ghosts. And like you could see him now. You can see him now at this age, him talking about his journey, and he was very mature about it. He didn't go the childish way like I would have went. I'd have been sending shout out to the Jets. I want to send a shout out to the Jets. I want to send a shout out to the Panthers, the 49ers, and especially the Vikings. I want to send a big shout out to the Vikings. I would have went off last night when they put that mic in my face. But you know what I mean? He's learned it. He's come a long way, bro. He didn't have much to say last night. So I think that's why it makes it easy for a person to be happy for him.
And he seems very much locked in. Like you say, he didn't have much to say. It's almost like, this is cool, but like, bruh, I got more. Like Box Office said, 28 years old, man. Bruh, this team, bruh, they young. So, and I want also to say shout out to Cooper Kupp, man. I know Cooper Kupp has to be feeling like, yeah, y'all let me go. The Rams let me go. I came to Seattle and I got me a dub. Got me a Super Bowl championship and actually led the team in receiving last night.
Yep. Yeah, shout out to Cooper Kupp. I think Cooper Kupp, he's around 8,000 yards. If he could get to 11,000, he has a strong case for Hall of Fame. But he has to get there because three more 1,000 yards isn't easy because he's not the number one anymore.
Right.
But he's got a hell of a resume. So he does have a good resume. So we'll see what happens with Cooper Kupp. JSN has got a crazy resume building, and he's going to get paid very soon. I think next year is the year Seattle will pay him big time.
Okay, I'm about to put you on the spot, man. We always do this every year. Where does Sam Darnold rank as far as quarterbacks are concerned?
10 to 12 range.
3 days not working is easy.
I got him in 10 to 20. I can't say he's a top 10 quarterback right now. Even winning the Super Bowl, I can't give him top 10. They definitely didn't win the Super Bowl because of him.
Okay, so man, and I'm not a prisoner of the moment. I'm promise y'all, and I don't think he's top 5, obviously, but I do think like he's in the same stratosphere. I know y'all gonna be like, oh, he's in the same stratosphere as Jared Goff, though, bro. He is. Like, he just is. Like, y'all may not agree with that, but I think like he's around that Jared Goff range, and I know that people are gonna get mad at me when I say this because they think that I hate this guy. But Brock Purdy, like, I'm not mad if you take Purdy over him, but he's done this on 2 different teams now. As far as has a lot of wins and now has a Super Bowl under his resume. I think he's around that range, the Purdy, the golf range. Is he in the Patrick Mahomes, Josh? No, he's not that. I'm not saying he's that, but he's in that next tier. So I would say around where box office is at, that 10 to 12 range. I'm not gonna say 20. That's ludicrous.
I'm not saying he's 20, but he's not above 10. Like when you say where does he rank, I could name 10 better quarterbacks.
Give me 10. Give me 10. I want to hear 10.
All right. I mean,
give me 10.
I mean, like
clear.
You know,
not potentially. Not potentially. Clear.
No,
today.
I'm gonna go with Mahomes. I would go with Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Stafford, of course. I go Jalen Hurts. How many is that?
That's 6.
I said Burrow, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
Burrow.
Give me Dak.
Okay, I'm not Dak. Okay, because it's hard to do what you do in Dallas. I get it.
Yeah. Give me Caleb Williams. After this season, give me Caleb Williams. I mean, right now it's gonna be where y'all probably start disagreeing with me.
Sure.
Would you take Herbert?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd take Herbert over him.
Yeah, Herbert's better.
Bro, I take Trevor Lawrence over him. When I start thinking about these people, I think about who I'd put on that team. Do I win the Super Bowl with them? And the answer is yes.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just think that he fits what they're looking for. Like, I don't think, like, if you put a guy, and y'all know, I never gonna say, X, you just hate Caleb Williams. No, I don't. I just think Caleb Williams may take some chances on Seattle that he don't have to take. And that necessarily wouldn't be, it's not his talent. I've never been hard on Caleb Williams regarding his talent. I just think that his psyche sometimes, but he fits with Ben Johnson. That was like the perfect marriage. But I don't know. In Seattle, would it still work out?
I like Jared Goff better than him. I think him and Jordan Love or what and what.
So what can he do, Sam Darnold, that would elevate him past 10 or 12 for you box office, and I guess see more like you're around that 15 range. I'll just go in the middle of the pack, around that 15 range. What can he do next year that can catapult him into that next category for you?
Win MVP.
Okay.
Like if he comes out and he does what Stafford did this year, where it's 42 touchdowns and only, let's say, 12 interceptions, that's big time. You know, like now you're getting your Carolina and Jets days out of my head. Like, this is a whole different player at that point. And I think had he stayed in Minnesota, I think he could have been able to do that, because, I mean, come on, bro. You got Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and that offense was all throw the ball down the field. I think he could have possibly won MVP eventually in that offense, because I think, if I remember, he had 35 touchdowns and 10 picks in 1 year there. So I think in order for Sam Darnold to take the next step, he has to win MVP. Because I think same thing with like Jalen Hurts, right? We knew he played great in those Super Bowls and he won one, but had he gone to like MVP Jalen Hurts, then that's like a whole nother level. But he kind of just stayed the same level. So now
Yeah.
does Darnold keep ramping it up, or does he stay kind of just, a guy that you can win with, but sometimes will make foolish mistakes?
What you see? What will get you to like say, okay, he's surpassed Dak Prescott, he's surpassed Jared Goff, he's surpassed those guys.
I would have to see him. I don't think MVP had he didn't have to have an MVP season, but they have to start winning because of him. I can't say that they won games because of him this year. I think that their defense was the catalyst for them winning probably 85 to 90% of the games. But
in those 2 Rams games, though, I would say,
yeah, I mean,
a lot to do with that. The ones that they won.
I would say he had a lot to do with though. But even though that was the Rams, there's still only 2 games.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But he threw for like 300-400 yards. You know what I'm saying? Like I need to see a lot more of those games. 300-400 yards.
One thing I want to add to that, I'm not saying it because obviously you can sit here and say that now because we know. But going into the season, you can make the case, I think, going into the season, even though like I like Seattle, would you have said going into the season that Seattle had one of the best rosters in the league?
No.
Do you think that their roster going in was better than Detroit's? When you say Jared Goff, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I look at. I said to myself, now I know that Seattle has proved that they're a really good roster, but I'm just saying going into the year, you wouldn't have said that they had a better roster than the Lions. And really, if you look at the last 2 seasons, even though Jared Goff and them has played well, last year Minnesota did win the division, didn't they? With Sam Darnold.
No, they didn't win the division, but they still
were right there. They were right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I just think that the changes that need to be made, with his game is he's not a turnover machine like he was, but he still will throw the ball to the other team. You know what I mean? He's shown that this season still. He needs to clean up those type of things. And on Stafford this year, Stafford threw for like 5 touchdowns on multiple games. Am I right?
Yeah, I'm not saying he's Matthew Stafford.
No, I'm saying that's where he would have to do those type of things for me to move him up into the top 10. Because right now my top 10 does not include him. Somebody who's above him in my top 10, to be honest, and that's right on the cusp. I hate to say it, is probably Bryce Young, bro. I like the way Bryce Young played halfway through this, from the second half of the season all the way up, and I'm excited to see, not too much because he's in my division, but I'm excited to see what he does to make his game better.
I still like Sam Darnold over Bryce Young, but I do like the direction Bryce Young is going in. In fact, I think Bryce Young lately has looked better than CJ Stroud, who we all thought, after their rookie years, that Stroud was way better.
Yeah.
I like Darnold, man. I will say that I think that this him getting this W, bruh, he can take off now, because I really think the Seattle team is really, really good. With that being said, what percentage you give Seattle repeating?
Oh man, 15%.
Okay,
I give them 15% just because how hard it is to repeat. The last time we had somebody repeat was Kansas City, and they looked unstoppable the first run. Then the second run, it was because they simply had the best player in football. And the third run, they almost went 3 in a row, but the best player in football wasn't enough to overcome the best team in football that year. And so that's what I think. I think this has become a situation to you have to have an entire team to be able to win. And I don't think that team, we saw it this year with the Eagles. The Eagles they looked unstoppable last year in the playoffs, and especially in the Super Bowl. Bro, they looked like there wasn't nobody going. I thought they might have went undefeated this year if they played the way they played in that Super Bowl. But you had things that happened that just didn't work out for them. So Kenneth Walker's a free agent, am I right?
Yep.
So now they got to spend money to bring him back.
JSN next year.
Huh?
JSN next year is who they got to pay.
Yep, JSN next year. Sam Darnold, they got him locked in, but I mean, I know that they're sold on him right now, but say he has a bad start to his next season. Do they start looking at people? I mean, do people start questioning Sam Darnold? You know what I mean? It's like it's anything can happen. Anything can happen, man. So, I mean, it's I give them a 15% chance just because it's so hard to repeat. It's so hard to repeat, man. And I was, yeah. I don't think that it's a foregone conclusion like it used to be that you'll have everybody operating on the same frequency that they were operating this year. You know what I mean? And people are going to take them a lot more serious than they did this year.
Yeah, I'm gonna go even less. I'm gonna go 10%. It's very hard to repeat, but the one thing I do like is they're young, and everybody's pretty much going to be back. That's one thing I like. But like C said, they will take them some more serious. You know, they're going to have that bullet on them the whole time, and you know you're going to have to counter that. So, but I do think they'll make the playoffs next year for sure, and then anything can happen. They're just in a tough division, though. You know, the Niners are going to get healthy. The Rams are going to be right back in it. The Cardinals should be at least competitive. So it doesn't guarantee. One thing that helped them this year is that Thursday night game where they beat the Rams. That was pretty much for who wins the division. And it got Seattle the 1 seed. And you don't think having all the games at home helped? You know, so it could come down to 1 or 2 games in that division. And you can be a 1 seed possibly, and you could be a possible 6 seed. And that's a huge difference. And it just went their way this year. So they have a shot because I think they're going to get everybody back and they're young. And now they're going to have even more confidence. But it's hard, man. It's hard.
With a healthy San Francisco in their division next year, that's going to make it even harder.
Right. So I'm not giving them more than 10%.
Yeah, I actually wrote down 10% right here by me, just because it's so hard to go back to back in the NFL. But I will say this: the way that they conducted themselves after the game, bruh, they just seem that they like playing with one another. They like that it's like they believe in the system that's been built over there. And would it surprise me if they won again? No, it wouldn't surprise me. Would I pick them next year? I don't know. I'm gonna see what happens in the draft. I'll see what happens with the Kenneth Walker contract. I'll see what happens, in free agency. But I do think they have a really good roster, and that's what made me pick them before the season to win the NFC West.
Okay.
So we're talking about the team that came out of nowhere and won the Super Bowl this year. That's the Seattle Seahawks. Do either one of y'all have a team that could come out of nowhere and make it to the Super Bowl next year?
Houston, if CJ Stroud can stop playing like an idiot.
But that's not out of nowhere, though. You know what I mean?
I guess. Let me think. San Francisco, obviously, if healthy, but that's not out of nowhere.
Let's say, let me put it. Let me play it. Out of nowhere means not a playoff team this year.
Not a playoff team this past season.
Let me see.
Oh man, I know you're gonna be like, "Oh, there he's going that stupid stuff again, bro."
Maybe. Hey,
Bro, do not say the Bengals.
Cincinnati. I'm always gonna say Cincinnati because they have the quarterback. They just have to build the
They don't, bro. They got the quarterback. They got the receivers. They don't have shit else, bro.
Hey, but you know what? They have that. And to me, if you're asking me a question, if I have a quarterback, I feel confident. Oh, I think Dallas, if they can build around, if they can build that defense up a little bit more, I think Dallas could surprise some teams next year.
Man, give me the Colts.
I agree with that. I actually agree with that.
Hey, Daniel Jones, why can't he be Sam Darnold?
I agree.
The Colts were on the right path. I actually really believe had Daniel Jones not gotten hurt, we actually could have possibly gotten to the Super Bowl with the way the AFC actually ended up. Like it's not impossible. We were the number 1 seed. If you were gonna make a surprise, this year was the year. And I don't think the Colts are, better than I don't know, the Buffalo Bills or the Kansas City Chiefs when everyone's healthy. But the thing is, this year was the year to do it. And the Colts, unfortunately, the injuries caught up. But the Colts, we saw, they were the number 1 seed. They had their Sam Darnold equivalent, basically. So I think the Colts could get Daniel Jones in September, which I don't know how likely that is. I think if I had to choose a team, that could be the team.
Yeah, I have no problem with what he said.
Okay.
The Colts are a good team, bro. If Daniel Jones can come back to the form he was before he got hurt, I have no issue with that. Their defense was playing really well. Sauce Gardner having an off season there. They could definitely make a run.
Hell, well, if you're gonna go with the Colts,
here we go.
You already know how I'm coming.
Right.
We got the rookie of the year quarterback coming into his second season down here in New Orleans. You know what I mean? With the core of young, hungry receivers, because I believe we all gonna go receiver in the draft in the first round. We got an all-pro receiver already. We got a coach that's finally found his rhythm toward the end of the year. A defense that definitely found their rhythm. If we bring those people back in, the young secondary that found their rhythm. So I think if we could get a couple of things done in the off season, we could definitely make a run, because the NFC, just like it's not as wide open as the AFC is, but the NFC I think is wide open, and somebody's got to do it. Somebody got to do it. But if I was going to put money on it, I wouldn't put money on that. I'd say
put money on a team. Who would that be?
2 teams that didn't make the playoffs: Detroit and Baltimore. I'd say those guys, man. They got another chance. Kansas City. I don't think Kansas City, bro. I think that, like you said, bro, I think their run is over with.
Okay.
I think their run is over with.
I'll throw a team that I think, if they can knock it out the park, now they have to knock it out the park, that nobody's talking about. Now, you want to talk about similar to Seattle? The New York Giants. If they can knock it out in free agency and in the draft, I think their defensive front, them getting after the quarterback with Harbaugh there, and if they give Malik Neighbors back, I think that they could be a team that, if the right things happen for them, it could be good for the New York Giants.
All right. Well, let's move on to another NFL topic here. Matthew Stafford wins MVP. He actually won it by 1 vote over Drake May.
Wow.
Did he deserve it?
Yeah. I mean, I have no problem with Matthew Stafford winning the MVP. His numbers speak for themselves. They actually came up a little short against Seattle. They played Seattle the best. I told y'all I thought whoever won that game was going to win the Super Bowl. If they would have beat Seattle, they would have won the Super Bowl. And Matthew Stafford have another Super Bowl in his resume. So yeah, I have no problem with Matthew Stafford winning MVP. And for everybody that's saying he's a borderline Hall of Famer, shut up. You don't watch football. Matthew Stafford is no doubt a Hall of Famer.
I don't know, man. The way these boys voting on people to get in the get in the Hall of Fame. I don't know of any scandals he done had, but bruh, they I don't trust the voters.
Here's my thing, though. See, Triple Crown winner. Who was his quarterback? Matthew Stafford. Puka Nacua, and what Puka Nacua's been able to do. Matthew Stafford. Calvin Johnson. Matthew Stafford. Like, no, at some point you have to say to yourself, he's a Super Bowl winner. He's an MVP. You can't sit there, and I know what you're saying as far as the Bill Belichick and all that nonsense that's happened, but there's no way you could sit here and say Matthew Stafford's not one of the better quarterbacks that we've watched in the NFL in his career.
No, I mean, like I said, that's one of the things that I think that they just got to be about. I think that they've proven themselves to be that stupid. If that makes any sense, they've proven themselves to be that stupid to me, and I don't like it. I think that's crap. But I mean, they've proven themselves to be that stupid to me. And I don't want to believe that they can do that again with anybody. But when you see that, when you see them do something like not put Belichick in, it almost makes you feel like the game's rigged. You know what I mean? But they don't have any reason to hold anything against them. And that's the one thing that I think that helps him. Is they don't have any reason to hold anything against him. If they did, I'd definitely be worried. Because they've done it too many times. They held out T.O. You know what I mean? They held out Belichick. Belichick, that's the most egregious one. But he's not. There's no reason for them to keep out Matthew Stafford. You know what I mean?
But did he deserve MVP?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Matthew Stafford, bro. Like I said, he was on my fantasy team, and no, that's not the reason why he should win MVP. But that means I paid more attention to him than anybody else. If I had him in my lineup, I won. I took him out of my lineup a couple times this year, thinking I had a better matchup with Jared Goff, and I lost those games. But he was consistently throwing 3 to 4 touchdowns a game every game this year. And I mean, if he don't deserve it, and especially with hindsight being 2020, Drake May damn sure deserve it after you seeing him in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I definitely would have voted Sam Darnold. Or, sorry, I'm tripping. I'm looking at this damn picture of Sam Darnold you still got up here, Egg, so that's why I'm confused. I would have voted definitely Matt Stafford. 46 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. That's incredible. Also, we talk about how great Seattle's defense is and how they obviously ended up winning the Super Bowl. Matt Stafford's stat line this year against Seattle: 8 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and almost 1,000 yards throwing.
That's
3
ridiculous.
games. So, and then you see Drake May against them last night look lost. So that was enough for me to see, even though I would have picked Stafford and voted for Stafford beforehand, anyways. But last night kind of confirmed it. I've been saying for years, bruh, Stafford is the best quarterback in the NFC ever since Rodgers left. Like, to me, clearly the best NFC quarterback. X, you remember your boy came on here from LSU, the young kid, and who were we arguing, bruh? I kept telling him Matt Stafford's the best NFC quarterback. And he looked at me crazy. And now with this MVP, Stafford has confirmed that he's a Hall of Famer.
Shout out to my boy David, man. He actually hit me up. I need to call him, man. David, if you check this out, my apologies, bro. I'm gonna hit you up soon. We're gonna bring you back to the NBS show, man.
But no, Stafford's a Hall of Famer. This MVP was kind of all he was missing in his career.
Right.
So now he's done some things guys like Drew Brees never did, Phillip Rivers never did, Big Ben never did. So he's got something to brag about there, and he might not be done. Maybe the Rams win one more Super Bowl before Stafford retires. They almost did it this year. I believe
Reed was screwed.
I believe had the Rams beaten the Seahawks, they would have won the game last night.
Absolutely, they would have won last night.
So,
absolutely won last night.
Yeah. So, speaking of the Hall of Fame, so we all agree Stafford is the MVP, and that was the right call. Speaking of the Hall of Fame, what do y'all make of the Belichick not getting in as the Hall of Famer? Do you think it is basically a travesty?
Absolutely. I know that, I know it was funny. I was actually thinking about this box office. I was like, you went on last week. I was like, oh, how the tide has changed, bro. How things have come full circle. You hated the Patriots, and then you picked them to win. And now, I don't think that you hate them anymore because Belichick's not there, Brady's not there.
Right.
But, at the end of the day, I look at it kind of like Barry Bonds, right? There's certain things that happen in sports, and you may say this and you may say that, but you have to be honest with yourself. Let's just say, and I know that you can say, well, he only got caught doing that. What else did he ever do? But dog, come on, bro. Belichick's Hall of Fame coach, bro. There's no way that you can say this guy won that many Super Bowls and he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame, bro. That's mind-boggling to me. He's gonna get in eventually. I just feel like they wanted to make a statement because of the Spygate, the deflated footballs, and all that stuff. But dog, you're gonna vote him in eventually. You're trying to make, the NFL does these things. We saw it with Shador. We saw it with the TOs. They do stuff like this, but I just think it's a travesty. I think you should have voted him in. But it's Bill Belichick, bro. Him, Tom Brady, the New England Patriots. I don't want to say carried the league, but carried the league for quite some time during their era. I think that's wild. I'm not even a Patriot fan, but he should have made the Hall of Fame on his first attempt.
Hey, man. My thing is, okay, you don't let him in on the first rip. What you going to do when it's Brady's time?
Right.
What you gonna
do? You not voting Brady?
And there's no way they could not vote Brady in the first time. But if you had asked me, I'd be like, there's no way they can't vote Belichick in the first time. So if you penalize Belichick, you gotta penalize Brady, bro. You gotta penalize Brady. And the thing is, they may be saying that you can put it on because he was not so friendly with the media. And now they had their chance to get back at him, and they got back at him. I just don't think that's cool, man. I think that's really a bunch of BS, to be honest with you. You can't justify it. That's why I say I'm an evidence man. What kind of evidence do you have that you can justify not keeping him in there, getting him in there on the first ballot? Because this is supposed to be based off what you do on the field, or if you're a coach, you know what I'm saying, how you actually coached on the field. It's not supposed to be based off anything else. And if you take those 2 championships away, what's he still have? 4? You know what I mean? And you can't take them away, but let's say you do take them away. He's still left with 4 championships.
2 more as a D coordinator too, so technically 6.
Yeah.
In that era with Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Big Ben,
Rodgers, Philip
yeah,
Rivers.
I mean, come on, what are we talking about here?
Arguably the best era of football ever. And no, I'm not a Patriots fan, never have been, never will be. But come on, man. Let's just be real at this point. I think that at this point you're discrediting yourselves as a league by doing this and allowing the voters to do this.
And see, I'll take it a step further. What happens when Sean Payton decides that he hang it up? Are we going to penalize him for Bountygate? Or are you going to say, well, Sean Payton, I don't care what you do in Denver. If you win a Super Bowl in Denver, we're going to hold you accountable. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, man, it is crazy. And the thing about it is, it's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous because Sean Payton is different, though.
But you're gonna say it because, like, you and I, we're Saints fans. I'm just saying from the outside looking in.
No, I'm saying he's different, and he only has that 1 championship. So if they did that to him, I ain't gonna say I would understand.
But you voted Breeze in.
Hell, Breeze
and his one Super Bowl is considered Bountygate. No MVP,
but Breeze
and Bountygate.
Yeah, but I mean, you got a couple of other factors to that. Breeze didn't play defense. Breeze also, he has all of these accolades, all these 5,000-yard seasons. You know what I'm saying? You look at, he never played with a all-pro receiver. You know what I mean? You got to look at all these things that push Breeze over the top.
But if you're gonna hold, but you just said we're gonna hold Tom Brady. If you didn't vote Belichick in, well, are we not gonna vote Brady in? Brady has a lot of things that he does. You don't play defense either.
No, but these things were huh?
And he won the Super Bowl without Belichick.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I understand it, like I said, but he won. What did he win? 5 Super Bowls with Belichick, right?
6.
Yeah, he got 7.
Okay, yeah, he won 6 with Belichick. Okay, so he does that. You say you take those 2 away from him, right? And he still has 4. I mean, he still has 5, but he's still directly connected with Belichick for his success. His success. Does Brady's career? Is Brady still Tom Brady if he just had that 1 championship with the Bucks? Of course not. You know what I mean? He probably.
I guess that's what I'm saying, and I'm trying to just connect the dots. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm saying you don't think that Breeze is tied to Sean Payton.
I think Breeze is tied to Sean Payton, but he has so many other accolades that would kind of outshine it. That Bountygate thing although Sean Payton paid a penalty for it, everybody knows that wasn't him. You know what I mean? That was a Greg Williams thing. And then nobody. Only reason why he got suspended is because they didn't have a union like the players did. They were found no wrongdoing. So what I'm saying is the Bounty Gate thing, I don't think is going to hold as much weight on Sean Payton as they're trying to make these things hold on Belichick.
I can say this, I'm taking, maybe box office will chime in, but I'm taking myself out of me being a Saints fan. I'm taking myself out of being a sports fan. If you tell me that they have one guy who won 6 championships and never got suspended for an entire year and has a spy gate and a deflate gate against him and didn't make the Hall of Fame the first year, but you have another guy that got a bounty gate and got suspended for an entire year, there's no way I'm voting him in first ballot. No way. I can't.
I don't think Sean Payton's going to get first ballot.
Right.
Let me ask y'all something, okay? This is at least like football scandals. Do y'all think personal F-ups, serious things you do off the field should affect you in your Hall of Fame status?
No.
It
depends on how egregious
O.J. Simpson's a Hall of Fame.
Okay, because I have two other examples of two guys that are not in the Hall of Fame that are no doubt Hall of Famers if they don't have nonsense attached to their name. First one, I don't think Antonio Brown's going to end up in the Hall of Fame.
That's crazy. That's ludicrous.
Which is ludicrous. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Oh, absolutely first ballot.
He was a monster, and plus he got a ring with Tampa, and he actually contributed. You know, him, Godwin, and Evans were catching balls like crazy. Okay? Another guy that I think a lot of people have forgotten about, a guy that played for y'all's team, that's no doubt a Hall of Famer if we're looking at numbers, and could be even first ballot. And he's not going to get in. Darren Sharper. Darren Sharper, let me tell y'all, he's from Richmond, Virginia. He actually played at my rival high school. And look at his resume. 6 All-Pros, 63 interceptions, and a ring with the Saints. And he doesn't even get mentioned, bro, because he's convicted of rape. I personally think whatever you've done off the field, it could be the worst thing ever, and what Darren Sharper did was terrible. And if Antonio Brown ends up being charged for murder, attempted murder, whatever the hell he's going through, that's terrible. I don't think it should affect his case. I think all 3 of those guys are Hall of Famers. O.J. Simpson, Darren Sharper, and Antonio Brown. So I don't like that they even let personal stuff affect that.
I think that in a case like Darren Sharper, he can't get in. He can't get in. O.J. Simpson, he was already in.
Right. That came way later.
You think he doesn't get in if it happens, like before he had a chance to get in?
Who what? If you do I think
let's say
it happened for OJ's last season in his career.
Hell no, OJ don't get in after all of that. Oh no, bro. I don't even care, bro. Listen, let's just be real. OJ was found not guilty, and he still nobody says he's when you do it. Everybody, the joke is that everybody know OJ did it, right?
Right.
So I'm not gonna say that happened his last season or whatever, or let's just say it happened. You gotta wait 5 years to get in. if that happened in the 4th year, I don't even think he gets nominated for the Hall of Fame his 5th
So you
year.
think like there should be like stipulations regarding the Hall of Fame? If you do something that you're found guilty for, that is like, I'm talking about something that's real, like murder, especially
Rape.
anything to do with kids for sure,
Yeah.
rape, you should be automatically disqualified for the Hall of Fame. We're not honoring that.
I think that yeah. I think if you're convicted of, if you're definitely that's if you're convicted of, if you're convicted of, now you taking yourself out of contention. Because let's just say OJ got convicted and then he was up. There's no way y'all think they would have nominated him for the Hall of Fame had he gotten convicted for double murder.
I mean, I see it happening with Darren Sharper and Antonio Brown now. They're not going to get nominated even. So, no, I don't think OJ would be.
So you think Antonio Brown won't make the Hall of Fame?
No shot.
See, I can see Darren Sharper not making it because his numbers are really good. I understand that. But he's almost a forgotten man in the NFL. Like, if you don't watch football, you're not really thinking about Darren Sharper. But Antonio Brown was.
But I don't think it's because Darren Sharper wasn't a stud on the field, because he was.
No, I agree with you, but that's what I'm saying. Like, he's
because of the position he played.
You do a screenshot of that, like I did.
Like on my computer.
Hey, I've never thought of it like that. But man, it makes you think. It really does make you think.
That's the only one that has a problem.
Should you be eligible if you've committed some type of major crime?
That's the only one that they're having a problem with.
I understand, man.
It's like so many good players are going to be left out.
Right. So you don't think I know C has stuff on mute, but so like you don't think like maybe like you can put, and I hate to say it like that, but like this guy made it into the Hall of Fame, but he was later convicted of X, Y, and Z.
Hell no. Certain things you can't even be in my house with this shit, man. If it's not, that's like having you got girls. It was a guy who got convicted of being a pedophile. He can't even walk in your house.
I get that. No, I can understand that completely, but I'm saying as far as his work and what he does,
it doesn't change his football resume.
Yeah,
what that boy did. I don't care how good he was, man. He can't get him out. I don't care. That's like saying, okay, he got convicted.
I get what you're saying, because you use the word honor. Like, we're honoring you when we put you on that stage.
Right.
So I do get that. But bro, Darren Sharper is a Hall of Famer. Antonio Brown's a Hall of Famer.
I don't even know that Darren Sharper's a Hall of Famer, bro.
You don't think watching his career?
Bro, look, 6 All-Pros and 63 interceptions. And the year the Saints won the Super Bowl, he had 9 interceptions. Like,
no, I remember.
I remember. What else as a safety besides 63 interceptions and 6 All-Pros? Like, what else do I need to do? And I contributed for the Super Bowl team. Like, I actually I got 9 interceptions in the year. Like,
yeah. I mean, I didn't know the numbers like that. I'll be honest with that.
Yeah.
63 interceptions is crazy. But I don't give a shit. Bro, I know what he did.
All pros?
I don't care. I don't care.
Oh, yeah. No, I get you don't care about after the fact of what he did. I'm just saying those numbers are Hall of Fame.
Bro. Oh, those numbers are Hall of Fame numbers. But you disqualify yourself once you do something like that.
I'm like, if they're punishing Belichick, for Spygate and Deflategate, and they're punishing T.O. for his attitude and because some saw him as a team killer, so of course they're going to punish you if you got rape allegations.
He got a conviction.
Right? Yeah, not allegation. You're right. You're convicted. He's in jail right now.
I'm so torn because okay, like my thing is this: if Tom Brady, I don't know, I'm not wanting to do this, but like let's say he commits a murder, you keep him out the Hall of Fame?
Hell yeah.
I
He don't
think
even
they
get
would.
nominated.
I think they would.
Wow.
I think they would.
Bro.
I agree. I never got my point across about that. I think if Bill Belichick is not a Hall of Famer, Brady can't be a Hall of Famer, and that sounds or first ballot. Sorry. So and that's ridiculous.
It's a murder. Like you said, he can't make the Hall of Fame at all.
Why are you saying first ballot?
First ballot. I'm saying if you're obviously Brady's the first ballot. Like if I'm voting, it's unanimous. But what I'm saying is like make him make sense. Like how's his coach of 6 Super Bowls not first ballot, but he is. Like,
Right.
But here's the thing. I think that they somebody had to be. This is how I look at stuff. I'm like, who was in the room when they made their decision? Like, it had to be somebody in the room that said, "Hey, you know, if we keep Belichick out, we ain't gonna be able to let Brady in 2 years
He
either,
has
right?"
to get in. Brady has to get in, bro.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying somebody had to have said that, and they obviously said, "Hey, I do what I want." Brady gonna get in, and Belichick gotta wait. That's obviously what happened because there's no way to keep Brady out.
It's sticky with we, like, as far as what we bought in. The whole if you get convicted of a crime. I'm saying if Tom Brady was to commit murder this year, and you're saying he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. But now I start to think to myself, well, dang, how can you tell the NFL story and not mention Tom Brady? Like that is
I'll give you an example. And I know y'all gonna trip when I use this example. The WWE Hall of Fame.
Oh God.
By the way, I hate the WWE Hall of Fame, bro. You go fight a celebrity match in the WWE and they put you in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Well, they got to put somebody in every year.
What?
Like Donald Trump might make the WWE Hall of Fame at this point.
Right, I'm sure he will. But no, they put Hulk Hogan out and banned him and scrubbed him of all previous WWE videos at one point because he had said the N-word.
See, like that to me, that's not. Respectfully, I don't think that's warranted.
And you can't tell WWE history without Hulk Hogan because he was the 80s.
And I'm not saying I agree with him. I'm saying to me that's not warranted.
But here's the thing. They did it though. Why? Because they couldn't associate their brand with him saying the N-word, especially the way he said it. You know what I mean? So they took him out and they eventually let him back in the fold, and you see how people reacted to him. Like his last time appearing on WWE TV, they booed him out of the damn stadium.
Same thing. I mean? And WWE obviously is scripted, but Chris Benoit should be a Hall of Famer. We know why he's not gonna be.
That man killed his kid and his wife.
Right? No, I get why. And
y'all figure this out.
X, we haven't been able to hear you at all, dog. You were talking to yourself over there.
I'm just saying, I never thought about this stuff until y'all actually brought this up tonight. Like, I really never thought about this stuff.
Bruh, I've been thinking about the Darren Sharpener thing for years now.
I could tell because when I tell you, never crossed my mind. Darren Sharper never crossed my mind. I remember after the Super Bowl, he came here to a club. He hosted a party at a club that I DJ'd at. I didn't DJ that night that he came, and I was hyped. Like it was after the Super Bowl. Hell yeah, I want to go meet Darren Sharper. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And but I had this thing about if I wasn't being paid to be at a club, I wasn't going. So I was like, of course I could go and meet him and everything else. I was like, They ain't paying me. I'm not going. And I didn't go. And people talked about how the women were all on him and all that kind of stuff. And how he was kind of rude to everybody else that was there. And once this came out about him raping, like he drugged and raped women or something like that.
And not just like it happened once. When I read into it, it happened like over a couple years.
Yeah. And my thing is, I started thinking, I'm like, oh, because everybody, I had been in Lafayette for some years then, so I know how beautiful the women are. I know how these women act, and they said that these women were all on him. I was like, I know these women were all on him. So I'm like, bruh, this is a man who didn't have to do this. Something's wrong with you for you to drug and rape these women. There's plenty of beautiful women out there that will just come with you willingly and sleep with you willingly for you to do this. So after then, that exact second that I found out he did it, I lost all respect for him. I was like, I hated the fact that he was on our team. You know what I'm saying? And he was such a big part of our team. Because I remember he just always was in the right place. He got that mug and was gone. And I was just like, bro, this type of dude. So I never thought about him since. I kind of tried to wipe him out of my memory. And when you brought him up about the Hall of Fame, I was like, dang, I do remember him in Green Bay.
Minnesota.
He went to Minnesota, and then he came to us. And I was like, he was good everywhere, but I didn't realize the 63 interceptions or whatever.
But you say no, but box office says yes. Vote them in if they earned it on the field.
Right.
Nah, bro.
So see, let me ask you this. And
I'm telling y'all, bro, Antonio Brown's not gonna get in.
But Antonio Brown, that's the one I don't agree with because he's never been convicted of anything.
Well, he's currently about to find out soon, though.
Yeah, and it was like what happened exactly? He was in another country, and he said he was defending himself or something.
Man, I saw the video, bro. It's like it's hard to. It wasn't one-on-one, so me not being a lawyer or a judge or a cop, I don't know how they judge these things, but it was like 12 dudes in a circle fighting and stuff, and Antonio Brown grabs a gun and shoots it. He misses. Everyone runs off the scene, and now he's being accused of attempted murder because he shot it off.
They was trying to kill me.
Right, and that's what he's trying to say.
Yeah, they was trying to kill me. He's gonna get off. They were trying to kill me. You said,
and I don't know where this was, if it was a different country or not, but if it was a different country, I mean, not every country has the same U.S. self-defense laws.
Man, this is where I'm having a hard time with this because I swear I never even thought about this stuff until y'all brought this topic up. So see, I'm gonna take it to music because you like music. So R. Kelly shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame for nothing musically?
Hell no, man.
Wow.
Hey, hold on. I'm like this, and R. Kelly, that's a good example because I know R. Kelly, I know he's guilty of doing this stuff. Like I said, they had the tape out and all this other stuff, but it doesn't take. I can't put him in no Hall of Fame because of what he did. Now, if you're gonna ask me, do I still listen to R. Kelly? Yes, I still listen to R. Kelly. Yes, I play R. Kelly at parties when I DJ. Because it doesn't take away from the musical part of the stuff that he contributed. It doesn't take away from it. Like, so when they talk about canceling, when everybody was talking about, I'm not playing no more R. Kelly. Everybody was saying it, bro. I've yet to DJ something and I put on R. Kelly and people were like, oh no, boo. It never happens. Never happens. Only thing happens is they get up and start stepping in the name of love. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a little different though.
I think I side with box office on this one. And as of today, like I said, I never did no research. I don't know, like I just think if you go through history, there's so many people that have done so many bad things, and yet we
Right.
still recognize them for whatever it is. Like, I don't know, like, so basically you're saying OJ gets to stay in because that happened afterwards, but other people can't get in because it wasn't just quite their time. I don't know, like I'm having a hard time with that.
Now, OJ gets to stay in because he was not convicted of anything. We can say he did it. We can say OJ did that all we want to, but a court of law said he was innocent. You know what I'm saying? He walked for it.
It's only certain crimes that you're saying, though, because OJ did get convicted of things.
Yeah, he got convicted of
I'm just saying, but it's certain crimes you're saying.
Right, a murder, a rape,
right.
Anything to do exactly what you said, anything to do with children. Yeah, bro. No, I can't have you in here with me, man. No.
But here's another thing I really hate that the WWE does. They basically removed Chris Benoit off of like all of his main events. Any show he was on, they scrapped it. You can't see it on the WWE network now that I think is on Peacock, right?
Right.
That's like the NFL showing a replay of that Colts Saints Super Bowl tomorrow, and they say every play Darren Sharper was included on, we take it out. You just took out half the game because he played half the game.
Well, so, I mean, that's why I say it's a little different, man. It's a little different. That's one-on-one.
My thing is like the past is the past, bro. Like, leave Chris Benoit on there. It doesn't mean that you're honoring him. He is part of WWE history.
I think a lot of that has to do with Chris Benoit. With the night after all of that happened, when they thought he had just died.
They honored him. Yeah, I remember.
They honored him. They did a whole show.
Monday Night Raw. Yep.
And they found out like that Tuesday that he had killed his wife and his kid and himself. And they felt so dumb. They like overreact. They overcorrected. I think they overcorrected. Now, every time I see Chris Benoit, that's the first thing I think about.
I mean, of course, because it ended so tragically.
Right. So when I see him, that's what I think about. So I don't remember. I remember. I love wrestling growing up, so I remember Chris Benoit. He wasn't. Does he belong in a WWE Hall of Fame? Yes. But like you said, they put anybody in there. You know what I'm saying? The Bushwhackers are in there. I don't even know if y'all know the Bushwhackers in there.
I used to watch.
But he was like a legit, like good wrestler. Like he was Intercontinental champ, tag team champ. Eventually won the world heavyweight title. It's not like he was just like a bottom feeder.
Yeah, I even know who Chris Benoit was. That's prior to all that would happen with him. I know who he is.
Yeah,
but
like
the thing about it is
a very relevant wrestler.
Yeah, he was. And does he belong in the WWE Hall of Fame? Yeah, but to me, if we were comparing him to a NFL player,
he's not
Sharper.
To me, he's like he's Jalen Hurts.
Hell no, he's not good as Jalen Hurts.
What? He was the world heavyweight champ.
But that's scripted.
but you gotta earn to get there. They don't give it out.
But you earn the way you earn things in wrestling is different. How you earn things on a football field. You earn things by paying your dues.
I actually think Chris Benoit was a better wrestler than Jalen Hurts, quarterback.
Hell nah.
You tripping, bro?
Chris Benoit. Listen, bro. Chris Benoit. They had Chris Benoit beating people like the Big Show and Batista. That's scripted. That's scripted.
Okay, I get that, but I'm saying like he was like a legit, like, oh my god,
he was part of the Four Horsemen, man. I remember that.
Yeah, Dean Malenko and all them.
And they kicked his sorry ass out the Horsemen, bro. Bro, I look at it like this, brother. It was like he was a mid Carter. That's what he was. They have the
That's what Jalen Hurts is as a quarterback.
No, he's not, man. No, he's not. This man is a legitimate Super Bowl champion. His two probably best performances in the NFL both came in the Super Bowl. I got a good comparison.
Who?
This is my name, big good. Eli Manning.
Eli's better than Jalen Hurts. What the hell are you talking about?
Eli's not better than Jalen Hurts.
Bruh, Eli's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, and so is Chris Benoit, right?
Right, and Jalen Hurts is not.
Hold on, why is Eli a Hall of Famer, bro? Let's just be real. Let's put it all on the table.
Because he's got 2 Super Bowl titles.
And against who?
Brady, right. That's my point.
That's why he's a Hall of Famer. There's no other reason.
I actually think you gave him better props in comparison than I did. Bro, Jalen Hurts isn't better than Eli Manning. He's not a Hall of Famer.
He's not a Hall of Famer yet.
He won't be, bro.
If he beats Mahomes again, if he had to beat Mahomes that first time and he beat him the second time, he'd have been guaranteed himself a Hall of Fame, albeit.
Possibly, but you got to win them. Like he's not a Hall of Famer right now. I think soon as Eli won that second Super Bowl, we were all like, he's getting in.
Yeah, but Jalen Hurts, bro, he's like in what, his 8th year? Something like that.
He better, bro, it looks like he's going to lose A.J. Brown. I'm not sure he's ever going to go back.
I don't know, man, but I mean, he has plenty of time to put accolades on top of that to get him into the Hall of Fame.
I actually like the Eli comparison. Chris Benoit is Eli. I'm actually good with that.
Our biggest thing is, I think, and you know, see, I'm a guy about integrity. I'm a guy about honor, morals, and all that stuff. But the Hall of Fame is the Hall of Fame about what you do on the court, the field, whatever your job is. It's not the Hall of Good Guys, and that's why I'm kind of like torn.
Here's my thing. The reason why, like you mentioned, honor. These Hall of Fames, people can visit them, right? If you went to Canton, you got 2 sons. You went to Canton, you would take your sons to the Hall of Fame, correct? If you just went out there to visit, y'all walking in there, and you going through. Let's say this is the WWE Hall of Fame, and you run up on Chris Benoit. What do you tell your kids about him?
But been to the White House, and I can tell my kids I've been to the White House multiple times, and I can tell my kids a lot of things about different things that I see in the White House that would be like controversial in a sense. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Like, I think that I can say, yeah, he done this, but it don't negate what you did as far as in your field, in my opinion.
I don't know. I think that Benoit killing his wife and his special needs kid,
I don't know much about wrestling.
All that bullshit that he did in the ring. It's nothing that he did in the ring. I don't give a damn how many crippled
we agree. What X is saying, I can separate that.
This is where I'm at. See, this is where I'm at. I guess that's why I'm having a hard time. If LeBron James committed murder right now, there's no way I would tell my son, dude, he's one of the greatest basketball players I ever saw. He committed murder though after, you know. I don't think you leave LeBron James out of the Hall of Fame. That's just ridiculous.
If LeBron killed Savannah and his daughter today, fuck that boy. He don't get in the Hall of Fame.
I'm not saying that I would say he's a good guy. That's what you're missing.
He's not a good guy anyways.
You always say he is.
I'm saying that's egregious enough for him to not make the Hall of Fame. That's egregious enough for him not to get in there. I don't give a damn how many points he scored, how many championships he won, how high he jumped. That's egregious enough for me to say, nah, man, I can't bring my son into the Hall of Fame and say, yeah, that dude right there, he was one of the greatest that ever played. Yeah, but he killed his wife and his daughter.
That don't mean he's a good guy just because he's in the Hall of Fame. That don't make you a good guy.
No, it don't. But I don't even want to. I guess it actually probably be a good lesson for my child to learn. like you said, that he's not a good guy. But
I would actually bet most Hall of Famers are not good dudes. If I had to guess, I don't know any.
I bet that too. But some things are so egregious that I can't overlook them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said,
I guess I could just separate it. I try to separate those things. Like I can say Chris Benoit was a Hall of Fame wrestler, a really good wrestler in my opinion, but maybe CT caused it. I don't know. He did that. Like same thing with OJ Simpson. I actually think OJ Simpson. I know he's not convicted. I do think he's guilty though. I can separate it. OJ Simpson, great running back, went for 2,000 yards, blah, blah, blah. However, he also did this. I can separate it. Like, I can
separate it too. Like I said, X said a good comparison with R. Kelly and his music and his personal life. Like there's a joke going around. They're like, R. Kelly made some of the best music in the world. But Robert wasn't shit. Robert did this shit. That's what Robert did. R. Kelly, best music in the world. But Robert, piece of shit. He's a horrible person. He did some gross stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like you could separate. It's a difference. You can separate the man from the art. I can't separate the man from the sport, if that make any sense. I think that because a sport ends and I don't have to look at that person no more. I don't have to look at LeBron do that. We don't have to we only living off the memories of that. You know what I'm saying? We're living off the memories of Chris Benoit. So when my memory click in, the first thing I think about when you say Chris Benoit is him murdering his wife and his damn son, man. And I can't get past that. You know what I'm saying? To think about these great matches that he had, I can't get past it. Now I will say this: when you say R. Kelly, 9 times out of 10, the first thing people think about is he a pedophile. But when I see Chris Benoit, I think about him killing his wife and his son. When I hear R. Kelly music, that's not the first thing I think about. I just automatically start singing. You see what I'm saying? I don't know if it's making any sense to y'all, but that's kind of like Pete Rose got held out the Hall of Fame for so long. And
didn't he get in recently?
Yeah, I think they go ahead and let him in.
I thought he was still out.
I thought he got in. I think he got in last year, but he was already dead. So it's like,
yeah, I think they did a post mortem or something like that, whatever they call it. A dumbass induction.
No, he's actually not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I thought I would have knew that because I'm not I don't follow it like I follow NFL and NBA, but I'm like, Pete Rose never got in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
What they did is they made him eligible for the future.
Yeah, they made him eligible.
Obviously, if he's eligible, he's going to get in based off what I know of baseball.
Right. So, I mean, it's like when you think of Pete Rose, though, I didn't watch Pete Rose play baseball, so I don't have any fond memories of him playing baseball. I got that one memory of him, I guess, when he stole a base or something, he got up and he held a baseball above his head. That's the only memory I have of him. But when I think about Pete Rose, I think about gambling and him being held out the Hall of Fame and him being a coach of the Reds. That's how I view him. So, like I said, the sports element is different. They kept him out because it's an honor to be in the Hall of Fame, and they believe that him bidding on the games damaged the integrity of the Hall of Fame, putting him in there. And Darren Sharper, that would damage the integrity of being of the Hall of Fame. But Bill Belichick not getting in on the first ballot, that damages the credibility of the Hall of Fame too. So I think that they got that one wrong. I think there's some that he didn't do anything egregious, even though whatever he's accused of doing, it was toward the actual game. I compare that more toward Pete Rose than anything else we were comparing it to. But the thing is, you didn't take his championship away. You know what I mean?
It's definitely an interesting topic. I'm not saying you're wrong or box office is wrong. I've never thought about it like that. But off of just first hearing, I just can't leave LeBron out of the Hall of Fame. So if he did something right now, I'd be like, yeah, he's a terrible guy, maybe, but we're not gonna sit here and act like he wasn't one of the best players in basketball.
Hold on, all right. Last week I go get my hair cut. The barbers in there hate LeBron. Obviously, I don't. So they I forgot what happened. They started bringing up LeBron. They just started the All-Star game. LeBron making the All-Star game. They said he didn't deserve to make the All-Star game. So you sound dumb like them. So of course they said they was like, yeah, man, they should have put Sagoon in there. And they said it like 8 times before I said something. Because I felt like they were just trying to poke at me because they knew I was going to zap. And I said, bro, shut up. I said, y'all shut up. Man, what are you talking about? Put Sagoon in. They talk about over LeBron this year? Yeah. I said, bro, no way, bro. So they was like, nah, man, see, no, numbers don't support what you said. Ain't that what you always say? Numbers don't support your argument. So they just talking. But I got my phone right here. And I look it up. And of course, LeBron averaged 21.9. I think Sagoon averaged 21.7 points, right? So they was like, well, what about rebounds or whatever? So we went rebounds, and Sagoon averaged like 9, and Bron averaged 6 or something. Then I said, okay, well, let's go assists. And Bron averaged like 9, and he averaged 6. So I said, so LeBron averages 2 out of the 3 big statistics better than him, and you telling me numbers don't support my argument? No, numbers don't support your argument. So of course they started trying to find other people, right? So they went from that to I don't know how we got on the Epstein files and all that. They
LeBron's probably in the Epstein file.
Gosh, no, Trump's definitely in the Epstein file.
I said LeBron, bro.
But they start saying stuff about the Epstein files, and I think they mentioned how Jay-Z was mentioning them, and with no context, they hadn't done any research. They just saw a headline that Jay-Z was mentioning the Epstein file. I read that, so I already knew the stuff behind it, right? So anyway, we kept going, and then they said his point was all these guys you think are so clean, they ain't clean. They're not clean. You think they're so perfect, and then they start talking about like LeBron this, LeBron that, talking about basically like he's been cheating on his wife this whole time or something. I said, bro, I don't care. I care less about where this man puts his penis. I don't care. I said, that's between him and Savannah. He ain't do nothing to me if he cheated on his wife. I said, I'm talking about what he's done on this court. I said, how has he cheated the game? Oh, no, yeah, it's going to come out. I said, what's going to come out? It's gonna come out. What's gonna come out, bro? You think he's still playing like this? You think he's still playing like this at this age and all of that, and he ain't went and did nothing, bro? I said, so you think that LeBron had played for 22 years and never failed a drug test, and he and it's gonna come out later that he was doing something? I said, so. If he does that, I said I'll be the first one to say, you know what, y'all was right, I was wrong, and all of that stuff for LeBron goes out the window to me. If he actually cheated the game, if he did something to his body and cheated the game, I'm done. I can't defend it. I'm a person that if you show me evidence, I'm done. I'm not gonna argue when you got something that's showing me that I'm wrong. But that's what that was their thing. They want to believe they want to believe LeBron did something so bad. Oh yeah, LeBron, he's gonna come out. It's gonna come out what he been using, bro. This man ain't been using nothing, but he takes care of his body, man. That's it. There's nothing you can do about that, bro. So when it comes to something like that, if you cheat in the game, even LeBron, I gotta say, nah, he can't get in the Hall of Fame. He was cheating if he was cheating the game. You know what I mean? I can't go with it. But if it's something outside of it, if it comes out LeBron's been cheating with on Savannah, do I keep him out of the Hall of Fame for that? No, don't have nothing to do with his basketball play. But if I find out he's been cheating on Savannah with a little girl, oh nah, bro. Ain't no Hall of Fame for you, Brian. It's certain things are just so egregious. I don't care what you did on the court. I can't roll with it.
Man, I'm about to start going to that barbershop.
You'll fit right in with them. And look, by the time I leave them, every time they so defeated, bro. Their heads down. Oh, see, all right, see, bye. I should bye. Y'all just next time do your research before you come against a GOAT like me.
Oh,
I don't play. I do this for real. I always tell them. I do this for real.
right.
Yeah, man, that Hall of Fame stuff. Hey, I think if Antonio Brown is even cleared of the attempted murder, I still don't think he's gonna get in. I think
he gets in.
I think he's gotten into it with so many people in the league that they're gonna keep him out, bro.
That's crazy. He's gonna get in. He might not be first ballot, but he's getting in.
Hold on. Antonio Brown, does he have a ring?
Yeah.
He won one in Pittsburgh.
Tampa. No. He won in Tampa.
He won in Tampa. That's right. He won in Tampa.
He scored a touchdown in that game.
Huh?
He scored a touchdown in that game too.
Yeah, I just don't think he's done enough. I really don't think my eyes at one point was he the best receiver in football? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I just don't think that his resume puts him in with just that one championship with Brady. And then the way it ended there. I think that those things matter. Like
no, I think his resume is Hall of Fame. It's 5-time All-Pro, 12,000 yards in a ring, but I think it's all because he got into it with Brady. He got into it in Vegas. He got into it with Mike Tomlin. I think that people will be turned off by that. Unfortunately, because he's a Hall of Famer if we're going by numbers.
I think that the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about Antonio Brown was his days in Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
You think about Pittsburgh. But the second thing you think about is him leaving the field with his shirt off.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And neither one of those are his championship. You feel what I'm saying? So I think that's a hard sell, man. I think that's a real hard sell.
I just think that controversy shouldn't keep you. I mean, like if he gets off with the situation, controversy shouldn't stop you from being among the greats. I don't know. That's crazy to me. He's there, bro. He's Hall of Famer.
5-time All-Pro, bro.
And those, like I said, those 5 years that he was an All-Pro, he was probably the best receiver in football.
He was
the best receiver, and I know for sure 2 of them it wasn't even close. So, I mean, you look at it, he should get in, but I think that all that controversy kind of trumps it. It makes people forget about it. When people think about him, a real sports fan thinks about his Pittsburgh days. But a casual, if I was to go in there and tell my wife right now, hey, you know who Antonio Brown is? She'll be like, no. and I could tell her everything I want to tell her about Pittsburgh, and she'll be like, I don't know who the hell you're talking about. I could show her footage of him in Pittsburgh. She'll say, I don't know who the hell you're talking about. I say, remember the guy who took his shirt off and left the game halfway through the game? Oh, yeah, I know, the crazy dude. That's what she's going to say. So that controversy for casual overrules his whole career.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. So I mean, and the stupid comments that he's made, so like he's a person that need a Twitter and all that. He doesn't need a Twitter. He don't need no kind of social media. He doesn't need to go do interviews. Like
he's been a damn fool on Twitter, bro.
Yeah, bro. But he needs to be silenced. His worst. The worst thing God gave him was a communication skills, because he shouldn't be able to do that.
All right. Well, crazy NFL topic there, because unfortunately so many guys will be left out the Hall of Fame due to just doing stupid stuff off the field. So we will see what happens in the future. But let's move on to the NBA and All-Star Weekend. It's this weekend. So I don't know what the hell is going on with the All-Star Game. I think they have 3 teams this year, something like that. I don't even know how long these games are going till. I think I'm just going to figure it out on the spot. I see the Stars play the World. The Stripes played to be determined. I mean, what are we doing at this point? This is a circus, and I see it's in the LA area, Inglewood.
Inglewood,
Yeah.
where they always up to no good.
So the game features a 3-team round-robin tournament. Team World versus Team USA Stars versus Team USA Stripes with 12-minute quarters. I already know that the players are tired of this. So I don't know how this is going to go. All we could really make predictions on is the little what do you want to call them? The little events before the All-Star game. And let's make predictions off those, because we actually know who's participating. So let me pull it up.
Yeah, man. Tell me about these guys. I don't even know who the hell they are participating in a dunk contest.
Hold on, I just had it
What
up.
you like? Yeah, oh my god.
I know who I'm going for.
Oh, we know who you're going for.
That Bryant boy.
Oh, okay. I thought you was going for somebody else. Never mind.
No, man. I'm going. Hey, bro. He got the name, bro.
All right, let's start off with the 3-point contest. I will name the contestants. Y'all tell me who's going to win. We got Devin Booker, Damian Lillard, who hasn't played a minute this year, Donovan Mitchell, Bobby Portis, Con Knuppel, Tyrese Maxey, Jamal Murray, and Norman Powell. Who's winning the 3-point contest?
You ready for this? See?
Yeah, bro.
Duke in the building. Y'all know what type of time we on, man.
Bro, get out of here, man. Hey, man, how about them Tar Heels? I meant to hit you up the other night, my boy.
I got Con up though. I think he gets it done, bro. Even though he's the young guy, I just think he goes in there with no pressure and he just knocks them down. So I'm gonna go with him.
Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray. I think
I wouldn't pick him at all, bro.
I think that this is his kind of event. I think this might be his kind of event, bro. I want to go Devin Booker.
I think Booker's the only other guy I think can win it too. He's my number 2.
Yeah, I want to go Devin Booker. My heart wants to go Dame Lillard just because I want to see him do it, even though he's injured. But that's just not realistic to me.
Well, why is Portland letting them do this?
My next statement was I don't know why Portland would let him do this. If I was Portland, I'd tell him, boy, you ain't competing this shit. But sit down. If you can't come sell no tickets for me, you're not gonna go sell no tickets at All Star.
Also, did they just get rid of the where they had the guards go all around those little hula hoops, and then did they just get rid of that? I'm not seeing that anywhere. I actually enjoyed that. I forgot what that was called.
Skills
challenge? Yeah, skills challenge. I'm not seeing it on the schedule.
Yeah, I guess they got rid of that and they brought back the Rising Stars game.
Yeah. All right, whatever. Let's move on to the dunk contest. Carter Bryant from the Spurs.
Who you got? Who you got in the 3-point contest?
Oh yeah. Let me make it. I got Norman Powell. I don't like going young guys because I've noticed that they're nervous. That they get better once they compete in this 2-3 times. So I think Knupp will win it down the road, but not right now. I got Norman Powell. He's been shooting the 3 ball really well this year, and off these type of little challenges, it's just a guessing game, and I think Norman Powell's gonna shoot lights out for whatever reason. And let's do the dunk contest. So we got from the Spurs, Carter Bryant, Jackson Hayes from the Lakers, Kashad Johnson from the Heat, and Jace Richardson from the Magic.
I got Jace Richardson. His dad wanted. I'm gonna take Jace. The other thing, I don't like big guys like Jackson Hayes.
Yeah,
too big.
He doesn't
Too
win.
big. So yeah, I'm gonna go Jace Richardson. I feel like his dad, over the years, he got to see
Pause,
his dad.
bro. God damn, you gonna keep saying?
What you mean?
You keep saying too big, too big. Now calm down, bro.
Pause.
Hey, yo, God.
But no, I said Jace Richardson. He's gonna win it because I feel like his dad just taught him a lot. So I'm gonna go Jace Richardson.
I'm going Carter Bryant just because my grandson's name is Marcel Carter Bryant.
Gosh.
So I'm just going with it like that because I've never seen anybody on this play an actual game or dunk a basketball except for Jackson Hayes. So I'm just going by name value alone. And I'm just gonna go with that Bryant boy, bro. Hopefully he win. I might even put about $5 on him and see what I can hit like that.
Yeah, I agree with X here. I'm going with Richardson because his dad was a great dunker. He actually won it back in the day. He was a good player for the Warriors. I remember watching.
Yeah,
I remember watching Jace Richardson with Michigan State last year. He was solid. So coming from that family, I'm just assuming he's got crazy hops. And I
that's
think
right. He did go to Michigan State. Huh?
Yeah, you watched him. But I think I think he's gonna surprise everybody for those that don't know that Richardson was his pops. So I got him.
I just don't want to see the same old stuff, man. He's gonna come out there with his pops Warriors jersey on and do the little what was the dunk his dad did? He did the East Bay Funk thing too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when he does that, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I knew that was coming. Like, you know what I mean?
You know what's crazy? As much sports as I watch, I have not watched All-Star Weekend in terms of the dunk contest like the last 3 years because I had something going on and I just never made it a priority, and I've been turned off by it completely. I still watch the actual All-Star game, but
that's what I don't watch.
I don't have plans this Saturday, so I'm actually going to give it a try. And dog, I just hope it's not trash.
I actually watched the All-Star games last year with the little tournament. I thought that was all right. I thought that they were going in the right direction. I don't know about this year. The stars versus the stripes in the world. I think that they took a good idea of the world versus the United States thing, and they had too many American players, so they had to make two teams, I guess. And I guess they had too many Americans and not enough world players. But I think it'd be a little more interesting to see.
I think the world versus USA is a cool idea, but it doesn't mean that they're going to give it their all.
No.
Like I still think they're going to be BSing around until the last quarter.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, why would Giannis, Doncic, and Jokic give it their all? For what? Like, it's not going to change anything.
Man, the only thing that, like I said, the only way they can fix this is make it for home court advantage in the finals, bro. East versus West, home court advantage for the finals, just like they do for baseball. That makes it play.
And I'm a traditionalist. I'm fine with East versus West.
Yeah, me too. Me too. That was the best thing. I think the only thing that was I liked it when they did like the playground top two people pick the teams. I like that too. That was cool, but the game still was whack. I think it needs to be more on the line. Like I said, home court advantage during the finals. So if you're a player, if you're a Luka, if you're a Giannis, if you're a Bron, you care about this because you could possibly get in the finals. And you're gonna hoop for real. And you're not gonna sit there and let one of these other little dudes that's don't know he don't have a chance to get to the final. He's not gonna blow it for you. You want to tell him, hey man.
Do you think the NBA PA would vote to do that?
Nope. Or they would have done it. Somebody has. My thing is, like I said, bro, it has to be in these rooms making these statements. We smart. We not that smart, bro. We not coming up with these things that they just never thought about. It's somebody in those rooms bringing us in, but it's also somebody more powerful saying, hey, nah, we ain't doing it. We doing this. And the fans gonna take it. They're gonna like it. What they gonna do now? Watch.
They become arrogant and cocky.
Yeah.
Arrogance offends me.
And I like I said, I just believe these ideas that we come up with on this show are really good ideas. Between the three of us, we've come up with really good ideas. But you can't make me believe that there's nobody in these rooms of these organizations that doesn't have the same or at least similar ideas, and somebody's vetoing it. That like it's just there's no way. There's no way. Like I compare to the NCAA playoffs. You know what I mean? The great idea that you had, X. You know what I mean? Just not to have a playoff for them to get in, for those at large schools to get in, and then they can get in. There's no way you can get me to believe there's nobody in those offices that's come up with it. It's just somebody else saying, nah, we're going to end up extending it to 16 anyway. Let's just keep going like this. You know what I mean?
You're right. League officers, call your boy, man.
Yeah.
Hey, we better get it popping, man.
Man, look, I was talking to my wife today. I told her a job that I want. I'm sure I can't get because I don't even know how to. I don't want to say I don't know how to apply, but I know I'll have to know somebody to get this job. But UL, they had an article come out that said that they've lost over the last 3 years. They lost like $31 million in football athletics. Like,
Wow.
and they don't know how to stop it. And I'm like, I could go in there today and fix that. You know what I'm saying? I know I could go in there.
Go up to the university and try to talk to somebody.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying the thing it is, the person that I would have to talk to is the person that's in charge of it, right? But the thing about it is, if I give him my ideas, he's just gonna take those ideas presented as he is and fix it, and I don't get a job.
But I think.
But you don't lose anything,
right? I would at least go in there and try to leverage. Look, I got some ideas I think would really work for this organization, for this school, and if you're willing to take me on board, I'll definitely gladly come on as an advisor, and you make them sign something. And if it doesn't work out, it can even be commission based. If it doesn't work out, they don't owe you anything.
My thing is, even if they stole your ideas, like at least you went and pitched it. Regardless, you're not getting paid from them right now anyway. So
right. And they'll come back to you if it's some good ideas and they see it worked out. They'll be like, you know what? Maybe I need to call Cedric Bryant back up because we're out of this deficit because of him.
I don't know, man. I've been burnt a few times. That's what.
You should do it, bro.
That's why I think like that. See, my thing is, I want to talk to the person that's over him, the person who's over the person that I would be going to talk to. You feel what I'm saying? And if I could get an interview, in front of him, in front of the guy who does the hiring for that position, I'd get the job. I have no doubt. Because I'd go in there so prepared, I'd have everything on paper, exactly what to do to get him out of this deficit and fix it. You know what I mean? But it's just about getting in there.
I think you should try to talk to the president of the university, man.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, my mind started working on something, I get kind of fixated on it. So I'm figuring a way out to do it. And now it's all about execution.
I'm glad you brought that up. And I know our show is based off of but I have a quick question for Box Office. How do you feel the support around where you live at? Do you feel like they support VCU the way they should support VCU?
So one thing about VCU is they don't have a football program. And I looked into it. I'm like, why did VCU never? So the only two universities in Richmond are VCU and U of R, University of Richmond.
Right.
And University of Richmond is private and it costs more money to get in, and they're generally better academically, right? But they have a football program, but they're like D2. Okay. And they actually won the Natty like 10 years ago, like twice or something. So they were like very legit. And I was like, okay, so why did VCU never look into a football program? Basically, VCU said, we want to be known as a basketball school, and we're okay investing everything into just basketball, especially after VCU made the Final Four run in 2011. Even though they're not a Power Four school, they made the Final Four, and they were like, we're good. Like VCU grew a lot from that in the Richmond area. They got a lot of attention, a lot of money from that run. And they've been funding ever since in basketball. And yes, I do believe so. Like in Richmond, VCU basketball is like a legit thing. People are always like, let's go to VCU game, VCU this, VCU that. Come March Madness, if they make it, people are heavily involved. So yes, I do think so. I just think it's a different feel when it's a football school. That's immediately like another level support. But yes, I do feel like VCU is supported right in Richmond.
And I feel like that's one thing about UL, man. UL is not heavily supported around here.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of people around here, and you can even call me in that direction. We support LSU. That's what we do.
Yeah.
We don't really, and I do think UL has their following, but it's not like you go to a UL game, it's not always sold out. It's not like people are excited. Oh, let's go to the UL football game this weekend. And I think that like marketing wise, like you said, see, to get them out of that deficit, it's gonna have to be somebody that can make people rally around that university, bro. It's gonna be hard, though, I think.
Here's the problem with UL, bro. It's kind of like what you said. They the support around here, but I don't think they do anything to help themselves around here. Now, you can pass by Cajun Field and you can see many people tailgating, there's traffic, all that kind of stuff, but the game still won't be sold out. And it's there are people that go to the UL games when they have a home game here. There are people that go religiously, but those aren't the people that you need to be targeting.
Right, you got to target the casuals.
Yeah, right. You gotta go. You gotta make this an event that people want to go to just because it's an event, not because I'm a UL fan and I'm gonna go there. Like LSU, they have the national championships and the football program to support that. UL doesn't. You know what I mean? It's an event. You get to tell somebody you went to a LSU game. You understand what I'm saying? So what are you gonna do to make this? Oh, I got to go to a UL game, and I got, like I said, I got things that I just got waiting to tell them to fix them, like how we can make this an event. You can't just make it just a football game because the people who love UL are gonna go to that anyway. So you're not targeting them. What you're trying to do is target everybody else and get them to come and not run these people off. So that's and it's just and it's support. And I looked at it, I was talking to my wife today about it. And I said, for one thing, and I'll just put this out there, they need to recruit more local high school players.
Absolutely.
I think they should almost build their whole team around high school players out of this area. Simply because if, just say my son, for instance, right? He's going to LSU, but if there's no way they should let him go to LSU. They should throw all the NIL money at him to stay right here, because guess who's going to every one of those games? Me. Guess who else is going? My whole family. Guess who else is going? All of his friends. Guess who else is going? Everybody who loved the high school that he went to here, just to see him play right here in Lafayette. And if he's good and he does great at UL, that's gonna make everybody love him. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna make everybody that ever went to that same high school he went to fall in love with UL. You know what I mean? It's so much other stuff that you can do that you need to the best thing you need to do is get the area. It's a such thing as a college town. UL this should be a college town. I do believe at one time it was a college town, but based off the nightlife as well as the sports, I just don't believe it is anymore. It's more of a I want to say tourist attraction in Louisiana. You come to Lafayette for our festivals and parades and stuff like that, almost like a little a baby New Orleans. You know what I mean? Instead of it being a college town, and they've improved the facility so much over there at UL, it rivals. It's definitely got the second best facilities in the state. So they should be able to draw more people here. Some people, you get some players here on a recruiting visit, and they can't go. The people who can't go to LSU need to be going to UL. There's no way I let them leave out of here.
I think sometimes what hurts, like, for example, do I think VCU has that Richmond support if they don't make the Final Four? I don't think so. And I think what hurts UL is they, I don't even know what conference they're in, but they're not Power Four. So they can't, unless they make that playoff, it's hard to get people behind them. So it's like, I feel like they need to have that success, unfortunately, first, and then the fans will follow. VCU had Final Four success. Even besides the Final Four, VCU makes the March Madness, I'd say, every other year, if not every other 2 years. So you have something to look forward to because they're not Power 4. It's like hard to get that attention on them.
But here's the thing, UL, for one, at one point they were making the NCAA tournament. They would win the what were they in the Southland?
It's
The
all there.
Southland Conference?
Yeah.
So they were making the
Not in Sun Belt.
Yeah, not in the Sun Belt. But they were the Southland Conference, and they would be making the field of 64. So they were more of a basketball school at that time. And then they started what's the guy's name? He was at Florida just now. Napier.
Now he's at JMU here in Virginia.
Yeah, Napier, but Napier came down here and he rejuvenated the ULL football team to where they were going to the New Orleans Bowl every year and winning it. And they had sucked so bad for so long. That was big. Like, people were getting behind UL. And they were having people come there and actually be supportive of the games. And it was a thing to go to the games. You know what I mean? But I think after Napier left, a lot of that support left. I think after he made like the third New Orleans Bowl in a row, everybody was like, come on, man. New Orleans Bowl. I know we going to the New Orleans Bowl. I know. You know what I mean? Nobody was excited about it. But I just think you have to turn this whole town around to make it a college town. And only they can do that.
I know football is king, but especially in this country, but I think maybe UL should look into maybe taking a VCU route. Don't get rid of the football team, but invest in basketball. Say LSU is always going to be better at football, but hey, let's try to be better than LSU at basketball. And just simply dump money into basketball so that way you just they become a basketball school. Like I'm looking right now into their basketball program. The last 2 times they won the Sun Belt was 2018 and 2000. So basically for 17 years, they're pretty much irrelevant. And I think if they won the Sun Belt 3 years in a row in basketball, I think people are like, you don't think so?
No, bro. No, but I just don't think that is UL football has to be successful. Basketball is cool, but it's still the Sun Belt. Football, you can almost fool yourself to thinking that we got a good football. Yeah. So, and even this, the baseball team at UL has been pretty good. You know what I mean?
Baseball and softball.
Yeah, baseball and softball. And my daughter plays soccer. The ladies' soccer team is pretty good. So, I mean, we look at that. We look at those other sports. UL has other sports that could be formidable, but I just looked up the exact number. They're $25 million in debt over all the sports. You know what I mean? And the only way to get out of that is football.
Yeah, because
the only way to get out of that is football.
Yeah.
Right.
In terms of the debt, yeah, that's for sure.
But that's why I say so that they all got to get on the same page. They all got to get on the same page over there and actually the promotion team need to get on the same page as the football team and the recruiting and all that to turn this all around. Like I said, I got great ideas, man. They just need to holler at me. Or I'm gonna go holler at them, one or the other.
You should. You got nothing to lose.
I agree. I think you should try. I actually applied for something at UL. I'm still waiting to hear back from them. So yeah, I think you should, man.
Yeah, man. That's what, like I said, those are the type of things that I'm into now. Like I'm I figured something out about myself. I am a builder. I like to build something up to make it successful. You know what I mean? I could take something from the bottom and put it in place to make it successful. So that's one of the things that I would like to do, and I see that they have everything that they need to do it. They just don't have the right leadership to get it done. So
Well, I mean, they did get that kid
We don't hear you, X.
Oh, y'all can hear me now? I
yeah,
know. Okay.
yeah,
They did land that kid from Acadiana, Russell Babineau, over
yeah,
at
they did.
LSU and Florida State. So, I mean, I think they're doing some things good.
Yeah, I mean, like a kid like Russell Babineau, he's not supposed to leave Lafayette.
Right.
They did right. But there are multiple players around this area that should not ever leave this area.
Well, they just offered, one of my LRSCA kids. Shout out to my boy AJ, man. They offered him. So, we'll see if he takes his talents there.
Hey man, they shouldn't. If he's that good, he shouldn't be able to leave town, bro. He shouldn't be able to leave town. If it's any debate, if it's any debate, because if it's a debate, if he's up for LSU or UL, he's gonna go to LSU. But
if they hire me, and like I know you want to be a part of that with as far as their deficit, if they hire me for one of these jobs that I'm applying for, I'm gonna be at every high school trying to get them kids to come to you.
oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. And it's just so much, man. We're gonna talk off camera because I don't want them trying to get our expertise for free.
No doubt, man.
You gotta pay me, and I know y'all got the money to do it.
Right. Well, you heard it here first, man.
We willing to help. We are willing to help. We want to help.
Yeah, man.
Take the help, you will. Take the help, you will.
I know we kind of went sidetracked on all the different topics, but is there anything else that we need to cover?
No, I think that's it. We still made it a 3-hour show somehow.
Yapping.
Well, shout out to y'all boys, man. Happy birthday again,
Hall
C,
of
man.
Fame.
Happy
Appreciate you,
birthday.
bro.
It's all good. I'm sorry. I don't know, man. I don't know what's wrong with this computer, bro. Maybe I'll have to start doing the show on my phone again. But shout out to y'all boys. Shout out to Sam Darnold. And I'll be back on next week.
Yeah, man. Fun show. Happy to be back. Happy birthday to C. Um, it's incredible. Your takes are getting better as you're getting older. That's good. It only took 47 years though.
my takes have always been good.
But I love the Hall of Fame topic tonight because that made us really think. It's gonna be a little slow here next couple weeks, but hey, then we got March Madness and it's gonna get good, and Richmond will be invested in VCU then. So we'll see y'all next week.
All right, man. You know me. Last with the shout outs. I always go to my family, Hunter Morgan Tory, Krishna Lee, and Edward Daddy. Love y'all. I'll see you in just a second. To my beautiful wife, Latricia, I love you too. I'll see you in just a second. And to Papa's babies, Marcel Carter Bryan and Azaria Grace Bryan. Pap, love y'all. I'll see y'all in just a second. Even if it's just on my screensaver. And man, my kids mess with me now because I'm getting old and I start doing like old people be doing. That's what they say because I done got obsessed with these little baby AIs. And and this
shoes gotta go with my shirt.
That's my little baby AI.
Jeans gotta go with my
That's my little baby AI. Huh?
What AI program you used to do that?
CapCut did that.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So I mean, like I said, I'm trying to get I'm trying to get on this AI stuff too, but like I'll sit there and watch them baby AIs for hours, and my daughters get so mad at me. Daddy, get off that. Leave me alone. It's funny. Look. And then I send it in their group chat and they all ignore it, piss me off. but yeah, man. Anyway, appreciate y'all tuning in. Love all y'all. We're gonna see y'all next week. Boot up or shut up. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir.